Welcome. I'm George Arthur LaRoe, and this is Awareness as the Engine of Reality. Let's start at the very beginning. Before awareness, before matter, before anything at all. Picture a state of pure potential, not empty in the ordinary sense, but undefined. Every possibility exists, yet none are realized. It doesn't need space, time, or substance to be real. In quantum mechanics, we see something similar. A wave function holds every possible outcome until measurement collapses it into one. I call this pre-material state the almost nothing. It sits on the edge of existence, patient, formless, waiting for the one condition that will turn potential into something real. Resonance. So the question that opens this whole book is simple and enormous. Is it truly nothing? Or is it the seed of everything? Here's the claim at the heart of this book. Awareness is not something that emerges after enough physical complexity accumulates. It's the very first materialization. Before any brain, before any body, before any structure of matter, self-resonance reaches its peak, and that peak is awareness itself. It doesn't wait for permission from biology. It doesn't require billions of neurons cooperating. It requires only the conditions for a wave to interact with itself and reinforce. That makes awareness intrinsic to existence, not an accident bolted onto the side of it. Reality doesn't exist until awareness meets it. Perception isn't a late arrival. It's the opening act, the actualizing force that lets everything else follow. At the center of this whole model sits a shape, the infinity loop. Picture two halves. The upper loop holds future potential, patterns shaped by everything that came before, reaching toward what might happen next. The lower loop holds past memory, the retained structure of prior cycles. And where the two halves cross, amplitude reaches its peak. That crossing point is where awareness ignites, where observation happens, where reality becomes tangible. This structure explains something strange about our experience, why reality feels smooth and unbroken, even though, underneath, it's fundamentally iterative, assembled instance by instance. Observation isn't a passive window onto a pre-existing world. It's the very engine turning the crank, generating each new moment as the loop completes itself, over and over. Let's return to memory, because it does more than preserve the past. It stabilizes the present. Awareness doesn't just interact with reality, it anchors it, holding perception together so it doesn't fragment into disconnected flashes. The clearer and stronger the resonance, the more coherent our observation feels. This means awareness is doing two jobs at once. It's the force generating reality, and it's the force keeping that reality stable enough to be lived in. Memory, in this light, isn't a biological quirk. It's baked into the structure of resonance itself, an intrinsic feature of a self-sustaining, ever-adapting process. Reality holds together not because it's fixed, but because it keeps reinforcing itself, cycle after cycle. So where does this leave us? We've shifted from observation to creation. Reality doesn't sit out there waiting patiently to be witnessed. It comes into being precisely as awareness meets it. That shift opens real doors. Can neuroscience test whether self-resonance structures perception? Can information theory model reality as dynamically generated rather than statically stored? Could this even inform how we build artificial intelligence or interfaces meant to interact with consciousness itself? I don't have every answer, but I believe we've uncovered something foundational, that consciousness is not an effect of the universe. It is a cause within it. Let's bring it all together. Awareness is not an accident of complexity. It is the first materialization. Born the instant self-resonance completes its loop within abstract potential. Existence is iterative, not fixed. Time is a construct, born from the rhythm of resonating cycles, not a separate dimension running underneath everything. And reality itself is not passive. It is actively shaped, instance by instance, by the very act of perceiving it. Awareness is not a mystery hiding somewhere inside the brain. It is the defining force structuring all experience, the engine, quietly and continuously running reality itself. Thank you for joining me. This has been Awareness as the Engine of Reality.